Good morning, Captain Andrew Manchanda. Um I would like to ask you a few questions on behalf of Bandra Buzz. Uh, can you tell me a little about yourself in brief?
Morning, Mark. I got into choppers in 1988. I belonged to Indira Gandhi Academy and did my basic training there. After which I was absorbed by Pawanand's helicopters in 1990. And from that time I've been doing helicopter flying, mainly offshore to the rigs connected with oil exploration.
Okay,
But when the situation arises, I've been going out to work for border security at Imphal, curb insurgency, and we've been doing. I mean, these are all on voluntary basis. Naxalite operations, anti-Naxalite operations, mainly in Gadchiroli,
okay.
and now this was the last which I did, flood relief operations
In
in
Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand, and
Uttarakhand.
mainly this Uttarkashi section.
Okay. Basically, how did you get involved in this rescue mission at this place, Uttarakhand?
At that particular time, due to the cloud bursts and the excess floods, the whole country reached out to the people who were stranded, pilgrims
Yes.
and other local people. So the PMO's office directed our corporate office to also get involved and to do their best in the sense of relief operations of helicopters. So that is what we were just informed. Uh, I think one night before, and it was very difficult to get pilots short notice. So means I was called up at 7:30 in the morning, and normally I always try to help as much as possible because these are situations where
Help is needed, yeah.
you can't. It's off the normal contracts, normal operations,
Right.
and this is a call which has come, you know, from for the people.
Exactly.
So if you have a conscience, then it's very difficult to say no and not reach out to. It's mainly for the poor people who cannot afford to, you know, charter personal choppers, or they're not ministers that who can, just give a call and get a chopper on call. So in these situations, it's even more
Difficult.
helpful for you as citizen to reach out.
Right.
So based on that, I agreed straight away, and you can imagine there was a very serious issue because at 7:30 I was called in the morning and I packed my bag. The car came, and 11:30 or 12 I took off
Where did you take off from?
from Juhu Aerodrome.
Okay.
So we went via Ahmedabad, Jaipur, spent the night there. The next day I reached Dehradun, and we started our operations the same day. The same day I reached Dehradun, we started the evacuation.
Okay.
So
Uh, could you just give me some insights into into the scene of the rescue action? You know, at that place.
once we reached the main heli base,
Yeah.
where the civil choppers were all operating from, uh, I found that it was a complete chaos. We had to just among ourselves keep separation, keep contact with each other because of the bad weather, and the state had lost control actually of the situation.
Okay.
It was mainly the army and the air force
Okay.
which was doing a very good job, and they really came forward and were doing the bulk of the work there. If it wasn't for them, the state would have collapsed.
Okay.
So I mean, every morning I had to reposition my chopper at GTC helipad. That was army cantonment,
Yeah.
and then we came to the main heli base, Sarasdara.
Okay.
So every morning we had to walk through a whole lot of people sitting there very anxious to know about their loved ones, their children or parents or old people who have taken this pilgrim, local people who are lost and need to be rescued. So we have to walk through these hundreds of people just sitting around on the helipad with photographs every morning, hoping that somebody would rescue their family. So it was a very emotional situation.
Yeah.
And people come up to you and ask you, where are you going, which area are you going to, because
Right.
it was left totally up to your discretion.
Yes.
Actually, how much you would like to do, depending on the weather conditions, which area you have operated, if you have some idea about the landscaping of the valleys.
Right.
So these are issues which you need to work on before you really go there.
Yes. So actually, in your chopper, how many were along with you in the chopper? How many people?
As a crew, which when we left from Juhu Aerodrome,
Yes.
myself, my other crew member, my co-pilot, Captain Nasir, and we had an engineer, technician, and a coordinator who, in case of flight planning,
Yes.
you have to put a flight plan, get a clearance from the Air Force if you are operating in a particular restricted area. So this is the complete crew which we took off from Juhu. Of course, it was ultimately there was a blanket clearance from the center that there was no need to put flight planning if you are operating in that particular
Area.
region which was hit by the floods. And Air Force was not charging if you had any issues and you had to divert due to bad weather and land at an alternate, which was an Air Force base. The Air Force was not charging anything, landing charges or parking charges, and IOC was of course putting it on credit to the company.
Okay. Okay.
So that was very nice. I mean, it was Air Force and Army were going out of the way, whatever they could possibly do.
Okay. Can you show us, that those areas on your GPS system? Is it possible?
Yeah, we can just zoom on to this area. This is the GTC helipad. Should I?
Yeah.
This is better.
Yes.
Okay, this is the GTC helipad. This is the Army cantonment.
Yes.
This is a point where we used to switch off our helicopter
Right.
after the day's work. It was because there were so many choppers at Saras Dara, at least more than 20.
Yes.
There was no space for parking.
Okay.
So they had requested us to shift to the golf course
Okay.
of this Army cantonment. So this is the point where we used to start up from, go to Saras Dara, take our fuel, pick up supplies, depending on where you're going to do the drop, and mostly supplies because we had to bring the passengers back.
Right.
The
What type of supplies did you all have?
mainly
was it
food and medicines.
Okay.
So we took off from here, came to this point, Darasu. This was an Air Force station halfway through my operations. So at this point, at any time you required fuel.
Yes.
If you were part of the relief operations, you could come by here, take fuel and carry on.
Okay.
So this was we used to overfly this point because in the morning we would come filled with fuel for the pickups. And this is the point of operation at Uttarkashi. Matli was the only place which was connected by road.
Okay.
So we would try to pick up people who are stranded, Maneri, Batwari, and then of course the last point, Hashil.
Yes.
This was the highest point. As you can see, it's showing the area around is 10,498. That is the area around this particular helipad, which if you go a little more north,
Yes.
it goes up to even 14,000.
Okay. Okay. So,
So
that's
getting to these points, you have to fly at least 10,000 feet, at least 1,000 feet clearance between the mountain and yourself to keep
yeah, safe. Yeah.
some sort of